Another video of mine, it's Kemal AA, and this is another episode of my managerial series where we'll be speaking about Max Allegri, delving into his tactics, looking at tactical analysis, his defensive style. Would he fit Chelsea? Would it be the perfect fit for Chelsea? I know a lot of you guys want him because he's a serial winner. He's won multiple titles at Juventus and AC Milan. He's been very, very successful in Italy, and a lot of top Premier League clubs are also interested in signing Max Allegri, so I know you guys really want him, and he will be part of the episode 3, which is now on Max Allegri, delving into his tactics, analysing everything and understanding if he would be a good fit. We'll be looking at his past achievements, his build-up play, his defence, how he sets up his teams in transition, the majority of the formations that he uses, the type of tactics that he usually deploys. I'll be covering all of that in this video. Now, before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down with your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. Leave me manager suggestions in the comment section below. Which manager should I do next for episode 4? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, starting off with Max Allegri's past achievements. What has he actually won as a manager? Now, he's won plenty. He's nicknamed the serial winner because of what he's achieved. Now, he's won the Serie A 6 times. Now, I know it's not a fantastic achievement considering he was with Juventus. However, he has actually won the Serie A title with AC Milan back in the 2010 and the 2011 season. He's won it 6 times. He won it 5 times in a row with Juventus, and he won it once with AC Milan. He's won the Italian Cup 4 times, which is the equivalent of the FA Cup in England. He's won it 4 times, all 4 times with Juventus, and he's won the Italian Super Cup 3 times as well, 2 of them with Juventus and 1 of them with AC Milan. So you can see that he has a massive trophy haul. He's won a lot of trophies. He's a serial winner. He knows how to win, and you can look at that with his trophy collection. Now, if he came to England, if he came to Chelsea, would you expect similar? I would say so. It'd be a bit like Antonio Conte in his first season with the defensive style of football. 100%. I think he would definitely win trophies with Chelsea. He's won trophies before. He knows what it takes. We have a lot of defensive style players. But we also have a lot of an attacking style players, which I'll be getting into in a second. And the only way I'd see Max Allegri being appointed if he has some sort of flexibility. But I'll be delving into his tactics in any moment. But as I said, he's a serial winner and he's won a lot. So achievements speak for itself, essentially. So again, it's something that that is very impressive that Massimiliano Allegri has achieved. Now, let's look at his style of play. What does he do in possession in his sort of teams? In a Max Allegri team, what do they do with possession? Now, as I mentioned earlier, he uses a 3-5-2 formation. He's a bit like Antonio Conte. He predominantly uses a 3-back formation, which is the 3-5-2 formation, with Andrea Barzagli and Leonardo Bonucci, Giorgio Chiellini. This was his early Juventus days at the back line. And the midfield consisted of Andrea Pirlo, Claudio Marchisio and Arturo Vidal, with the 2 wing-backs of Patrice Evra and Stefan Lichtsteiner. This was back in the 2014, 2015, 2016. However, towards his latter Juventus days, he did have fullbacks of Alexandro and Juan Cuadrado. The forward line consists of, at the time, Alvaro Morata, Cristiano Ronaldo and Paulo Dybala, but the whole squad changed within 1 or 2 seasons. He had a lot of squad changes, especially in that midfield, and again he lost a lot of players at the time, such as Vidal, Pirlo, Tevez, and there were new players to fill that void, and Allegri had to also accustom to that back 4. So he had a lot of player changes at the time, but he still adapted, and yet he still won trophies even during that time. The new central midfield consisted of Sami Khedira and Miralem Pjanic, who used to dictate the attack with their exceptional capability of moving the ball and visionary passing. Paulo Dybala used to stay up front and played as a second striker or inverted winger within the Max Allegri system, but his job more or less remained the same. Essentially, Dybala is used more centrally in number 10 / second striker, shadow striker type role. So essentially, Dybala, with his versatility, was operating effectively and efficiently in a Max Allegri type of system. He used to move centrally and make runs into the pockets of space available. He was one of the key factors behind Juve's extraordinary attacks, and he had likes of Ronaldo, who also played a massive role as, of course, the main striker at the time. He acted as an inverted winger or a proper striker in a 2-system striker besides Gonzalo Higuain, Alvaro Morata or Paulo Dybala. Now, the wings were left open for the fullbacks such as Alexandro and Juan Cuadrado to overlap and provide the necessary width during the attack. Later, Matuidi, who also signed, also used to play in the centre, forming a 3-man midfield. Again, Max Allegri is very versatile with formations. He doesn't stick with one formation, but he predominantly uses a 3-back formation, whether that would be 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. He does have Matuidi in that three-man midfield. So he does like to, in a 3-4-3, he does like to have a three-man midfield if he does use a four at the back. At the time, Allegri's Juventus was regarded as one of the finest attacking sides in Europe. Now, the main criticism with the likes of Antonio Conte is he has a very poor record in Europe. That is not the case with Max Allegri. He made the Champions League final 2 times as Juventus manager, so you can see that he has got experience. Now, how do a Max Allegri team operate without the ball, without possession? This is the key point because he's a defensive-minded coach. Now, Massimiliano Allegri doesn't believe in pressing opponents high. You know, you have the likes of Maurizio Sarri, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Frank Lampard, that they play a more gegenpressing, counter-pressing style of football. So essentially in the Frank Lampard system, you have our players pressing very high up the pitch. You press in numbers, you press on the front in the final third. Max Allegri is the opposite, and this is the issue I have with Max Allegri is we have a lot of, we've built a lot on these players. We've got a lot of attacking talent. We have a lot of attacking style players, and we moved away from that Conte style of football to the likes of Maurizio Sarri, who built the foundations of attacking football, and we continued that with Frank Lampard. My issue is if you appoint a manager such as Max Allegri, you would have wasted the last 3 years. What would have been sensible is after you got rid of Antonio Conte was then to appoint Max Allegri, because we have defensive-minded players and it would suit Max Allegri's system. Unfortunately, it would waste the last 3 years, which is my main concern with Max Allegri. However, his pedigree you can't ignore. It is extremely impressive. Now, as I said, he doesn't press opponents high. He believed that pressing will lead to the opening of spaces. Rather, his team used to remain in their half and cover spaces. His team defended in a narrow 4-5-1 formation in the transition, so they packed the midfield and they essentially stopped the transition so they don't concede a lot of counter-attacking goals. And they like to stretch out the opponent and outnumber them in the wing spaces. They allowed opponents to attack and hit them on the counters with the speed of Dybala, Cristiano Ronaldo, Juan Cuadrado. So overall, Juventus was a very, very strong side. Max Allegri took charge of Juve after the golden period of Antonio Conte. He had huge pressure of expectations on his shoulders to carry out the triumph of his predecessor. He excelled in his job and made his Juventus side one of the greatest in the whole of Europe, and proved the decision of the Juventus board correct. Massimiliano Allegri won 6 Serie A titles, 4 Italian Cups, 2 Italian Super Cups with Juve, and made them a dominating football side in Italy. And again, he will be regarded as Juve's one of the greatest managers of all time. Now, as I said, his pedigree is sublime. Fantastic pedigree. You look at his trophy collection, what he's done in Italy, not just with Juventus, but also with AC Milan. You look at his record of Europe, again, very, very impressive. And I believe that he would be successful at Chelsea, especially in the short term of this model that we run, this, this hire and sack managers, this merry-go-round ring. However, for me, this is another Antonio Conte appointment if we did sign him. Very defensive-minded coach. It would ruin what we have built in the last 3 years. And I would advise against the board signing a manager such as Max Allegri. Even though Max Allegri is a top manager, it's not what Chelsea need in this current moment in time. For me, I think Chelsea need a more attacking-minded coach, an attacking-minded manager to continue building on what Maurizio Sarri and Frank Lampard has built at this football club. For me, we're heading in the right direction with the amount of money and investment we've spent in, with the attacking talent, with the midfield that we have, and I think that signing and hiring a defensive-minded manager is going backwards in a sense. It's going back to the Antonio Conte days, and I think that is the wrong move. We have a lot of attacking players, and it would ruin the talents of Callum Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. We have an abundance of attacking talent. I think that it would ruin it if we did sign a defensive-minded manager. Hence why I would be against this move. Now, I wouldn't be upset if we signed him. I don't think it's realistic either, and I know a lot of you guys want Max Allegri because of what he can win with Chelsea, and we would get back to winning ways just in the short term. But I think in the long term, it will again damage his club. I think Antonio Conte has damaged his club despite him winning 2 trophies in 2 seasons with the style of football and the signings, and I think that would be the same case with Max Allegri. I think he's another Antonio Conte, good manager, but just not what we need in this current moment in time. Hence why I would recommend the likes of a Thomas Tuchel, a Julian Nagelsmann, that style of manager, if that makes sense. But that is the tactical analysis video of Max Allegri. If you did enjoy this video, hit to smash like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts opinions in the comment section below. Which manager do you want for us to sign to replace Frank Lampard at Chelsea? Leave me your thoughts opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.